Ladies and gentlemen, the television cameras are rolling, the microphones are on. Welcome to tonight's City Council meeting and Committee of the Whole meeting. I kindly ask our City Clerk to please take the roll call for the City Council meeting.
Bowring,
Here.
Bruno,
Here.
Ruby,
Here.
Kilberg,
Here.
Kasserag,
Here.
Maladra,
Here.
Marks, Mayor,
Here.
Paschke,
Here.
Swanson.
Here.
Alderperson Marks did advise us that he will be out of town this evening, visiting his son back east. We begin our City Council meetings, folks, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to invite our Assistant City Planner, Jesse Muncie, to please lead us in the pledge.
Do I stay?
Wherever you'd like.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Let's see if I remember. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Miss Muncie, stay where you are. Actually, no, you know what? We'll give you a break here. You don't have to stay where you are. We're going to call you up, though, okay? Get ready.
Okay.
Okay. Item 3 on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen, public hearings, special items, and presentations. Item 3A is to proclaim Juneteenth Day in the city of Geneva. Before we have a motion and a second on that, I would like to invite anyone and everyone following tonight's meetings, presuming that we so proclaim, we will be raising the Juneteenth flag here on the east lawn of City Hall. So with that, I will entertain a motion to so proclaim Juneteenth Day in the city of Geneva. Motion by Alderperson Bowring, seconded by Alderperson Kasserag. Any questions, any comments? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Muncie, it's you. We get to introduce you to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jessie Muncie. She's our Assistant City Planner. And I'm not even going to guess. You've been with us for now
Like a month and a week?
a month. Is it a month and a week?
Yeah, I think so.
Graduated from Ball State University with a master's degree in urban and regional planning just last month.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Received a bachelor's degree of arts from Northern Illinois University in communications and environmental policy. You wrote this, so this is all accurate?
That is true. Yeah.
Okay. Now brace yourself, folks. Likes to play the guitar and piano. Which do you like better?
I've been playing guitar for longer, so I guess guitar, but piano's pretty cool.
Trivia question for you. There's a council member present tonight who's also an accomplished guitarist.
Oh.
Guess who that is?
Oh, you? Okay.
Oh, you. Did you hear that? Oh, my God. Alderperson Maladra was actually on the Partridge Family.
Sounds important.
Yeah, maybe you don't know who the Partridge Family is. Forgive me.
No,
You don't
I
know,
do.
do you? Oh, God. Okay. Now, this is you. These are your words.
Yes.
I love, capital letters, Taylor Swift.
Yep. Yeah.
Anybody excited for the re-release of Speak Now on July 7th?
Anyone? No.
When did she speak before? That's my question.
2010. That's when she spoke before.
Did you go to the concert?
No, it's too expensive. No.
It was expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I heard it was great, so yeah.
So you're a Swiftie.
Yes, I'm
What other genre of music do you enjoy?
country music and pop. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, this is a loaded question. How do you define pop?
Oh no. You can get me talking for a long time on that. Just the Billboard charts, you know, it's on the radio, pretty much.
Soft radio.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have earpods in during work hours?
Maybe. Yes.
Your boss does.
then yes, respectfully, yes.
Mr. DeGroot listens to Christian rap.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
No, he doesn't listen to. So Jesse, where's home now?
Campton Hills right now, until I just got an apartment kind of almost signed in North Aurora.
Oh, that's
So,
exciting.
Yeah, and then move over there.
By any chance off of Oak Street?
I don't think so. No. It's across from that bakery over the river from Harner's.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Oh, that's a cool location.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Wow. The mayor of North Aurora's
Oh,
he used to be a police officer here in Geneva.
okay.
Do you know that? Do you know that, Officer Duncan? Did. Yep, there you go. Now, Jesse, you're diving right in,
Yes.
staying busy.
Yes.
Life is good. Do I dare reference your knowledge of public service? Because,
Yeah, go ahead if you want to.
well, I was hoping you'd say it, but your father serves on the city council.
Yes, not here, but yes.
Yeah, and,
Secret father? No.
see, no, not here, but in beautiful Campton Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he new to the council?
I think it was like 3 years ago. Yeah,
Got it. So you guys talk at night about all sorts of stuff?
we do. A
Do you
little
really?
bit. Yeah, yeah.
Is he tuning in tonight?
I think they're having ice cream, so no. My
Oh,
parents,
well,
my mom and him.
You know their schedule well. That's exciting. At the Dairy Queen downtown there?
They do like that, yeah.
That's good living, man. So besides music, are you a concert pianist or do you play pop and stuff?
No, I'm just find stuff on YouTube and just play that. So kind of like barely able to play.
So, but you play by ear?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So no lessons really, or
No.
did you? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's
can find some great stuff online, like Claire de Lune. People just play it for you, and you're
Oh, I
like,
love those
"Ooh."
guys. Is that a band?
Yeah, yeah. It's a really old band, actually.
Oh, it is?
Like 200 years, yeah. But
Really? Wow. So what else should we know about you? I mean, you're literally standing above your office right now.
oh, am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, kind of like over here, I think.
Well, I guess I've always loved Geneva, actually. I grew up in Westmont, Illinois, until I was like 17, and I moved out here for high school, my final year of high school, in St. Charles North.
Ah.
And we would go out to Geneva like sometimes for like a fancy time. We get on the hill and we're like, oh, this is so cool. And my dentist would like ride his bike here from Hinsdale, which is crazy to me, like on the weekends. And so I think I'm just so lucky to be able to work here because I love the town. So
Well, we're delighted to have you.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Any questions or comments from the dais? Ms. Muncie's with us for the next several hours, so. Are you heading home after this?
I mean, yeah, probably at some point, yeah.
Mr. DeGroot just texted saying, please let Jessie know she has the week off. So,
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm sure that's true. Yeah.
sure.
I'll take you up on that.
Welcome aboard, Ms. Muncie. We're delighted to have you, and thank you for choosing our community to serve.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4, folks, amendments to the agenda. Are there any amendments this evening? Item 5 is the omnibus agenda. All items marked with an asterisk are considered to be routine by this council, and those items can be acted upon with one motion. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Alderperson Bruno makes the motion. Alderperson Mayer makes the second. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
All right, Bruno,
Aye.
Ruby,
Aye.
Kilberg,
Aye.
Cusrog,
Aye.
Maladra,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
Paschke,
Aye.
Swanson,
Aye.
Bowring.
Aye.
The omnibus agenda has been approved with 9 affirmative votes, 0 nay votes, and 1 absent. Item 10, municipal bills for payment. We kindly ask our city clerk to read the bills in their aggregate for our consideration.
Right. The bills total $5,837,898.19.
Mayor, I move that we approve and pay the bills as read. The individual items that add up to that amount can be found in tonight's city council packet on the city website.
Alderperson Bruno makes the motion to pay the bills as presented, which are also available in each city council member's packet and on the City of Geneva's website. Is there a second to that motion? Alderperson Bowering makes the second. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready.
Bruno,
Aye.
Ruby,
Aye.
Kilberg,
Aye.
Kasserag,
Aye.
Maladra,
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
Paschke,
Aye.
Swanson,
Aye.
Bowering.
Aye.
With a vote of 9 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 1 absent, the bills have been approved to be paid. We jump to item 12, folks, presentation of ordinances and resolutions. Item 12A, consider ordinance number 2023-11, granting a variation to allow a street yard setback of 22.32 feet instead of the requested 35 feet for a proposed addition to the single-family home located at 602 Maple Lane. Is there a motion? Alderperson Mayor makes the motion. Seconded by Alderperson Kosarog. Ms. Dawkins, please.
Okay, so the owners of the subject property are proposing a one-story addition to their dwelling, which falls within the required front street yard. Per the zoning ordinance, the front street yards on corner lots in residential area 1 are required to meet the same street setback as the existing front yard setback of the adjacent dwelling. The adjacent neighbor is set back 35 feet from the front lot line. The existing dwelling is set back 21.4 feet from the front lot line, and the proposed addition would be set back 22.32 feet from the front lot line. At the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on June 8th, the commission unanimously recommended approval of the requested variation for a reduced setback. With us this evening, we do have Director DeGroot, and I'm not sure, is the applicant present as well? So the applicant's also here if you have any additional questions.
From the dais, are there any questions for Director DeGroot? Any questions for the applicant? Just a little sidebar, the applicant is leaving a home that he and they built themselves 38 years ago, and now choosing to live on Maple Street. So pretty cool, isn't it? With that, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
All right. Mayor,
Aye.
Paschke,
Aye.
Swanson,
Aye.
Bowering,
Aye.
Bruno,
Aye.
Ruby,
Aye.
Kilberg,
Aye.
Kasserag,
Aye.
Maladra.
Aye.
With 9 votes in the affirmative, 0 votes in the negative, and 1 absent, item 12A has been approved. Thank you. Item 12B, folks, it's lengthy, so please indulge me. Consider ordinance number 2023-12, granting 1, a variation from section 11-6F-4 to allow a street yard setback of 1.4 feet instead of the required 20 feet. 2, a variation from section 11-6F-4 to allow a side yard setback of 0.5 feet instead of the required 5 feet. 3, relief from section 11-6E-4, subsection F, to allow a deviation from the East State Street Corridor Design Guidelines, parking lot lighting standards, and 4, site plan approval for a proposed parking lot at 830 East State Street. Whew. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Alderperson Bowering makes the motion. Alderperson Maladra makes the second. Ms. Dawkins.
Okay, so the subject property is approximately a half acre in size and is currently improved with a commercial building owned and occupied by Isaac's Upholstery and includes a gravel parking area. The applicant is proposing to replace the existing gravel parking area with a new asphalt parking lot in an effort to improve the overall site condition. The proposal will also help the applicant prepare for future leasing opportunities, as the current building has the potential to be leased out to multiple tenants who would require additional parking capacity. In addition to the new asphalt lot, the project also includes adding ADA improvements for both pedestrian walkways and vehicular access, updating and improving on-site drainage, updating the site landscaping and lighting, and restoring the Simpson Street right-of-way. The Planning and Zoning Commission at their meeting on June 8th unanimously recommended approval of the requested variations for reduced setbacks and a site plan approval subject to final engineering. With us this evening, I do see we have the applicants in the back of the room, and we also have, again, Director DeGroot to answer any additional questions.
Council members from the dais, any questions, any comments for either Mr. DeGroot or our special guests, the applicant? Alderperson Kilberg.
This is an issue that we had some discussion on, 4 or 5 months ago, something like that?
That's correct.
Yeah, and since we have the applicants here, maybe they might tell us a little bit about the plan and how we will improve the East State Street corridor. Since you've come out tonight, we'll give you an opportunity to promote your business, too.
I've got my engineer here so he can answer any technical questions. I'm the owner of the Isaacs Upholstery. Been in the Geneva area for 23 years, and we are here to stay. We love Geneva. Obviously, part of the whole process of getting our building updated and really was the parking lot. The parking lot has been like that for many years. It's a very big eyesore. It does not represent who we are as a company, as a business, and so part of that progress of the parking lot is to make sure that we can beautify the outside, and then also to really open up the door for multiple tenant units, bring in a retail space in the front, and possibly some office retail space. Correct. That's correct, yep.
Very exciting.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we do too.
Anyone else from the dais? We have a summary provided by our city administrator. We're ready to take the vote. Yes.
Thank you. I have a question not for the applicant, but for David.
Of course.
And that's concerning the deviation from the East State Street corridor lighting. It seems that this has been coming up more and more frequently, that type of light is very difficult to get. And my question is, can we expect a policy discussion or in the near future to change that or modify or make it easier that we can
Yeah,
not have to go through these
it's
variances?
something we've already started looking into. We've started contacting manufacturers to see if we can find similar specs from other manufacturers. Some have gone out of business, some carry it, but they have very long lead times because it's a special order. So we've started looking into that, and we'll be bringing that forward as soon as we can.
Okay, I think that would make sense so that we don't continually go through this and say you have one option, and if you can't do it, get a variance. So I look forward to that discussion. So, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, Madam Clerk, are you ready to take the roll?
Sure am. All right, Bowering? Aye. Bruno?
Aye.
Ruby?
Aye.
Hilberg?
Aye.
Kasserag?
Aye.
Maladra?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
Paschke?
Aye.
Swanson?
Aye.
With a vote of 9 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 1 in the absence, item 12B, the longest ordinance in the history of our community, has been approved by this council. Congratulations. Thank you. Folks, we're at item 13, new business from the dais. Public comment. Anyone here this evening wishing to share any comments with the council are certainly invited to do so. We simply ask that you state your name and provide your commentary with some brevity, cogency, and clarity. So whoever would like to come up first, you're more than welcome to do so.
Good evening, Council. I'm Brian Marr, Geneva Township. I have talked on this subject a few times, as I'm sure you're aware, so I will try and not be redundant about this. We do have some new information that has come to light. I'm here because of the Geneva MIF project, because of the trees that are in danger of being destroyed. Oaks in this entire area in Illinois are under attack in this region. Since 1937, they're down 55%. Oaks of this type support 5 times the biodiversity than any other tree species out there. They're really good to have around. Kane County's Energy and Environmental Committee has agreed to move forward with the tree preservation plan. That was at the meeting last week. They don't currently have one, but this will take too much time to help these trees that I'm talking about. Geneva has a tree preservation plan, but the property is not annexed into the city yet, as you all know. And also, in the plan on the website, MIF is going to ask for a variance from this tree preservation plan anyway. In essence, these trees are not being protected from being felled right now. In fact, there are white X's on quite a few of them. Some have been here longer than the city of Geneva. As I had mentioned before, a 39-inch tree is about 240 years old. Some of these trees are pushing 50 inches. And not only are the big trees there are saplings, there are 10-year-old trees, there are 30-year-old trees, there are 100-year-old trees back there. The Kane County 2040 Green Infrastructure Plan shows these trees on a map on page 19. They are identified as remnant oak woodlands. Many, many pages of this plan are devoted to the importance of keeping these trees intact. The Southeast Master Plan shows a bike trail going through what would be Building 5. At one time, it was planned to keep this area open for the public. I certainly hope, and I think there are others here that hope, that this plan is not abandoned. My wish here is that the developer, Midwest Industrial Funds, understand that the public values these trees. MIF has not returned any of my calls or emails. The public view, the ask here is that someone speak with MIF and let them know how the public feels about these trees. We don't need another huge warehouse taking out 300-year-old oaks. Staff indicates that these are very preliminary plans. Well, that's good, that our timing here couldn't have been better. When I met with staff 4 or 5 years ago about this very project, I was told that the entire wooded area would be protected, wouldn't be disturbed at all. However, 5 years ago, it was even more preliminary, yet here we are. Previous dialogue with the Conservation Foundation should be reestablished. I was told that things were moving along well with both MIF and the city, and they haven't heard from either one of you for 2 years. They're very surprised about that, and they would like to reestablish conversation with you. We're talking about 1 building out of 8 on this proposal. There needs to be a compromise between progress and nature here. And last time I talked about the witness trees. Staff believes the witness trees in this area are gone. They were cut down 2 years ago for the contractor's yard over there. Well, these trees were under government stewardship at this time, and unfortunately, no one was here to speak for those trees. That's why we're here. Our elected leaders obviously need some help ensuring the same fate doesn't befall these magnificent trees, and we're here to help you in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Hi,
Hi.
welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'm Michelle Rathman. I live on Lexington Drive, and you may recall that I was a part with many other of those here tonight, really responding strongly to the proposed truck docking station, cross-docking station off of Kirk and Geneva. And I have 2 things I want to talk about, but this is the first one, and I really just have one statement. I guess I have a question, too. For the council members here, can any of you share what your knowledge is of how many square footage of empty warehouse space we have between Geneva and St. Charles Township? A number was sent to me by another neighbor tonight. It's 6,720, or is it more than that? 6 million, thank you. 6,702,230 empty square feet. So my ask here in front of the City Council tonight is that our plea really is that the Geneva City Council have more of a vision for the east side than sell our land to speculative warehouse developers. We are living in a very close to concrete jungle on the east side, and I think that our community deserves better. I think that we deserve revenue-generating businesses. I think that we deserve to have organizations come in here who want to beautify, help us sustain the land that we have and create things for the community benefit. And I know we all do a lot of ordering online and such, but at the end of the day, I think that we should have more of a vision for our own community than warehouses, because they're going to stand here for a very, very long time, long after us, and this is what we're leaving to our community. The second thing I want to bring up is about the culture of speeding in this community and through this community. I have brought it up with Becky and Dean before. I actually was, the chief of police was kind enough to send me a report about the number of traffic stops, and these sheets, about 36 on the report, out of 36 on just one page alone, only 29 warnings were issued and only 5 tickets. I live, as I said, on Lexington Drive, right off of Geneva. I walk my dog 3 times a day. The speeding is insane. And our plea, this is what happened. We got a portable speed sign that was up for 2 days, and it was gone, as if that was going to help us. We need 2 permanent digital signs on East Side Drive, and we need far more enforcement. And I'm begging any of you who are here tonight, and those of you who are watching, let's be good stewards of our own community roads. The speed limit of 25 is not a suggestion. And so I think we know another tragedy happened this weekend on State Street. I cringe every time I think about what might happen when a car veers off the road. So we've got to agree that the reckless driving in this community, even 35 out of 25 is reckless, and we have to do better as citizens of this community, so thank you.
Just to clarify one thing, Ms. Rathman, if I may, you stated that we should not sell our land. That is not our land. That land is owned by a private developer. That land is not owned by the City of Geneva. I don't want anyone leaving here tonight to assume that the City of Geneva owns that land and is selling that land to anyone.
Thank you for the clarification. The city ultimately has the choice what to allow to be put on that land,
If we
so
do
I
not
thank
own
you
that
for the
land, just to
clarification.
clarify a statement that was made errantly. So
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. Who's next? Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Alexis Hartlow. This is my daughter, Evie Hartlow.
Hello.
And we just wanted to come and support the discussion that this gentleman shared earlier about those trees. I'm not sure if my daughter's up for sharing, but every time we go past an area where we see trees that have been taken down, my 6-year-old comments on how disgusting it is. I work as a science teacher with high schoolers, and in Geneva, we are a city of trees. I get offers sometimes to have new parkway trees put up in our community, which I love. I think that that's amazing, but we do so much more for our community and biodiversity and our ecosystems by keeping the trees that we have already in place and intact. I have 2 oak trees. I have an oak tree that has been in my yard for 3 years now. I'm going to put you down for 1 second, sweetheart, and it is this tall. So if we have oak trees that have a diameter of 50 inches, it behooves all of us to keep those in place. This is our world right now, but this is their world in the future. And I hope that the council can take that information and take the steps that we are capable of taking to annex that property and have it be part of the jurisdiction that Geneva already has in place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Podium's open for anyone else who wishes to speak. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Rachel K. Albers, and I also wanted to share my support. We have to keep these 300-year-old trees. And I want to remind us that 300 years ago, we weren't here. This land was inhabited by many different peoples, but the Potawatomi people were included amongst the people who were here before we were. And I just wanted to read a quote from Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, who is of the Potawatomi people, and it's a beautiful book, and it talks about the wisdom that trees have that we could never replace with a warehouse or with commerce. The trees act not as individuals, but somehow as a collective. Exactly how they do this, we do not yet know, but what we see is the power of unity. And what I see here tonight is a room full of people, many of which who I know are here to support these efforts to preserve these 300-year-old trees, and I think that we owe it to the people who came here before us. Out in St. Charles, you have the Potawatomi chief that overlooks the Fox River, and I often look at that chief and I think, what would they think if they could look upon our strip malls and our Starbucks and all of this development and how we're destroying the beautiful land that they beseeched us to take care of when we came here. So I think that those are the things that I have to say. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone online wishing to comment? No hands raised? Okay, just come on up. Mr. Rule, good evening, sir.
Be the night for trees. Most of the council knows who I am. My name's Jay Rule. By the way, it's spelled R-U-L-E, not R-U-H-L. I guess I would ask you to correct your minutes. I think it's rather interesting that we're talking about trees here tonight. To make you guys that are interested in trees aware, back in November, I had a 40-year-old tree fall on my house. It was on the city parkway. These guys are refusing to accept liability for that. So to make a long story short, what I want to talk to you about tonight is a development that I've had. First of all, we were here last month, or 2 weeks ago. You guys mentioned that you couldn't really talk to me because I had retained an attorney, and I don't know where you got that information. I've never once said I've retained an attorney. If I did, I would have had it with me. What I have said is I want to try to avoid that. So are we clear on that? Okay. A week ago, I had an arborist come to my house. Showed him where the tree was, showed him my detailed pictures of where the rotten base of the tree had broke off, and he also dug around the root structure that was still remaining. His comment is, and I'm getting this in writing, I haven't got it yet, is the tree suffered from root rot. Okay? That's 180 contradiction of what Argonaut has said, that the tree was in good condition. Argonaut based their opinion on a 5-year-old survey that was nothing more than a drive-by. His comment was, it was no surprise to him that the tree went down, regardless of the conditions. So what I'm saying is you guys pay a lot of money to somebody to do a survey for what? It's not protecting me. You guys have forced me into this forum. You have said in the past that this isn't the place to discuss this. I couldn't agree with you more, and I've asked for that. Okay, you have selected this forum, not me. You've refused to meet with me. I asked for a meeting. I asked for your insurance people to be there as well. You've refused to do that. I'm telling you right now, because you think I've retained an attorney. I have not retained an attorney. Last month you said you would take that under advisement. I don't know if you have or not. Anyway, I sent those findings off to Argonaut, to actually Sedgwick, basically saying that I believe that an arborist on site studying what was going on actually trumps a 5-year-old survey that nobody ever came to look at. Okay, and I invite you to bring an arborist over. I'd be happy to show him. I sent that to that information to Sedgwick. No response. You guys and Sedgwick want to continue to stonewall me. This is the only option I got, people. You don't want this forum? I don't either. Meet with me. Meet with me. I think what this gentleman has said has been great. Like I said, it's a night for trees. Anyway, as far as your silence and Sedgwick's inability to respond to me, I'm pretty sure that doesn't act in good faith. I'm pretty sure most people would agree with me. Same silence. Your tree fell on my house. You're liable. Good evening.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. And then this gentleman here.
Hi, my name is Kevin Machano. I live on Lexington Drive. I ran across an article, a Tribune article that was dated June 6th of 2023, and it was about how Naperville was going to go through and review and evaluate ordinance changes that would give the city greater control over where large warehouses, storage, and distribution facilities can be built. And they were doing it for the ones that in regards to areas zoned as for office, research, and light industrial, or ORI. The three reasons that they came to reevaluate these ordinances were the negative effect of such truck-based facilities that can have in residential and office properties, poor visual aesthetics, they can also produce traffic, noise, and light pollution, and sometimes operate day and night. And then also they found that warehouse and distribution centers generally create fewer job opportunities and generate less in property taxes for the cities, schools, and parks. And the reason I bring this up is, we're talking about the east side, the warehouse that they're going over there. And I think it's something that, we should take into mind for Geneva also, and to learn from other communities around us that are also running into this. Batavia's starting to generate more warehouses. East side, as you come up Kirk, there's a lot of proposed extending Couts down to Fabian. There's all those warehouses that we're talking about for the trees, but otherwise, as the warehouses overall. And I think, it's something that we should consider and also partner. I'm in business. I partner with other companies that do the similar things to us. And I think it gives us an opportunity to talk to Naperville, find out why they're doing this. And they gave out some numbers where, a warehouse would generate, $650,000 versus a property that's owned by a business and is running a business of $1.2 million. So in a tax and generation of revenue, which everyone looks to, right? Get businesses here, get that, establish a tax base, and it really makes our lives a lot better, and I'm all for that. But I think there's a way to come to a narrative in there where there's a happy medium and everything's not going on the east side. Back down Couts, the truck traffic that, we try to forecast, but it's hard to. We have a gas station that's going to be trying to come in, tailoring to trucks, the things that come along with it. And I think there's something maybe we can learn from Naperville when they go out and they evaluated this. So I think, like I say, I know I shared it with you, Mayor, and to the alder people, the email and news clipping from that. So I just wanted to come up and raise it up to the hall aldermen's here. And alderman people, I'm sorry, and just let you know that, something I think that we should take, into consideration and partner with those around us.
Thank you. Billy. Sorry I didn't recognize you right away there.
Well, I comb my hair today. Evening, everybody. Billy Malicki, East Side resident, member of SPAC. I wanted to just come in and share my public comment as well as everybody's talking about the Southeast Master Plan and Development. I emailed my alderman and the mayor a few months ago, basically asking if there's a chance to policy-wise revisit the Southeast Master Plan, just to see if what was decided and voted upon 10 so years ago still holds water today. A lot of things have changed. There's a lot of developments that are concerning with the climate, with the environment. I'm a big proponent of sustainability, and I think our residents are too. As a member of SPAC, we talk to our residents every year. That information's presented to City Council in the fall. Our residents have, again, voted, so to speak, to have environmental stewardship with the sustainability, actively conserving and preservation of our resources, access to natural areas as far as our quality of life vision, number one, engaging public, developing engaging public places as part of quality of life, number two. Anyway, my comment is just if there's a chance in the future for our City Council to revisit the Southeast Master Plan in its current form and see if there's any compromise with what may come before council in the future as far as developments and property. I realize that these developments are all on paper now. The city doesn't own the property. It would have to be annexed in. We don't have any power right now to say yes or no to this development. But it's also something to keep in the back of our head for the future. We're giving a lot of land away with the Weber Farms property. Venture Park that may be developed across the street from Country House. So I think there's a place for Geneva to look at this property in question where the MIF development is going to be to see if there is a way to keep a significant portion of that area open space. We should be in line with what I think the residents are asking for with our strategic plan, and also part of the, Kane County's 2040 plan and so on. So that's all I wanted to ask or comments on. So thank you all so much for your service.
Thank you
and
very much.
Hope you have a great evening.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm Dave Hirschberger. I live on the east side of Geneva.
Hi, Dave.
I'm not going to talk just about trees. In fact, I'm not going to talk about that side of the story. I'm going to talk about the other side of the story. The other side of the story being that humans that are less than 100 years old generally somehow believe that it's their right to cut down an organism that's been living in one place for 300 years, that doesn't have the ability to pull up roots and move somewhere else because someone wants to build something there. I mean, we almost killed off all the whales because we wanted whale oil. We almost killed off all the beavers because we wanted to make hats. Vast areas of the nation have been cleared of forests and turned into cornfields. Surely there's a place, a cornfield. I mean, there's nothing living there that is older than a year old. Would be an appropriate place to build things. I think it is somehow speciesist of us to think that because we were born and we have money to buy something that, well, is really only borrowed from reality anyways, because we only have our time, 100 years, and we turn it into money and we trade that money for things. Do we really own that thing that's been there longer than we have because somebody says we own that land? And I guess I kind of just see this, well, it's trees and we got to develop, as the same kind of thing that is, now we've got global warming. Oh, we need, everybody needs to drive an SUV and so on and so forth, that I just want to bring the potential thought of, you got to start fixing it somewhere. And a place to start fixing it is maybe to quit breaking it.
Podium is open. Yes. Good evening.
Hi, Jean McGowan. Okay, a couple things I wanted to say tonight. Well, first of all, I do support saving these trees, and I don't know if there's anything that is within the power of the city council or the mayor or the city administrator's office for that matter, but I would just ask that if there is anything, could you please all seriously consider saving the trees? And there has to be some way to compel the developer or the owner of the land, whoever it is, to save these trees. So it was mentioned that a previous speaker gave a quote from the book Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Well, guess what? We're so fortunate here in Geneva and throughout the community that this coming Wednesday evening, June 21st, from 7 to 8 p.m., we can take part in a virtual conversation with the author, Mrs. Robin Wall Kimmerer. She's a 2022 MacArthur Genius Grant winner and author of Braiding Sweetgrass. She will be, hang on, let me just click on this. I just think the timing of this is so wonderful. This is presented, it's a conversation, and it's a virtual event hosted by the Geneva Public Library. Please join us for a special evening with Robin Wall Kimmerer. In this insightful and inspiring talk, Robin will share her unique perspective on the interconnectedness of humans and nature and the importance of recognizing and respecting the gifts of the earth. She will delve into her own experiences as a botanist, indigenous science professor, and environmental advocate. Okay, so I would please encourage anyone listening tonight or here present in the audience to take part in this. wonderful event. This event is made possible by Illinois Libraries Present, a statewide collaboration among public libraries offering premier events. It's funded in part by a grant awarded by the Illinois State Library, which is a department of the Office of the Secretary of State. Okay, so it's a really great event, and I'm sure the author would be quite interested in knowing what is going on here in our town that's related to saving trees. Okay, I also wanted to mention that Swedish Days is coming, a very exciting time, and our parade marshal is a wonderful Geneva resident, Mr. Jay Womack, who has dedicated his life to preserving and celebrating trees and planting trees. And what an honor it would be to actually take action and save these trees. Mr. Womack was awarded the Wood Award for his efforts in helping to preserve the environment and educate young people in our community. And he's certainly educated me, and I'm not young, but I know that Jay does so much. He coordinates our Earth Day event every year. He runs the Fabian Forest Preserve Stewards, which I love doing when I can, but helping to restore a native oak savanna that is along the Fox River. Well, this is arguably another area that should be preserved and saved. And imagine if we were to have our volunteer stewards come and experience the wonder of this oak forest, this ancient oak forest that is in danger of being destroyed. So I just wanted to point out the irony, to put it nicely, that we're doing so much, and I believe, I hope we're not just giving lip service to the environment. I know for a fact that at least 2 of the previous strategic plan workshops that the City Council participates in, the environment has come up as the #1 priority. And now I want to admit some ignorance on my part, which is when I served on City Council, and we all voted, yes, this Southeast Industrial Corridor sounds great. The land can be used to bring in needed revenue for maybe public safety concerns, for example. It all sounded great on paper. Are there any questions? Well, okay. All I knew was that, and we discussed this openly, there were some private properties adjacent to that Southeast Industrial Corridor where there had to be some negotiations perhaps made with those property owners. But there were no mention of 300-year oak trees. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember hearing a single thing about that. I love trees. I think that would have stood out to me very clearly. I don't remember hearing about that. But conversations were had in 2018 with city staff by Brian? Pardon, what is your last name? Marr. By Mr. Brian Marr. That never got to me, unfortunately. It would have made a huge impact on me. And I would have had questions. We would have had discussion about that. I wish that information had been made open. I believe it seems as though it was withheld. Do you have any questions? Well, it's hard to ask questions if you don't know what's going on. And shame on me for not going and physically asking for a full tour of the property, walk the tour, bring our own outside environmentalist to explain, okay, well, this is going to be the impact. That's just not something that was done. And in retrospect, I wish it had been, because here we are now. So these are some things I just want to point out publicly, as I like to do when I'm compelled to do so. And I really hope that we can save these trees. Tree City USA, what does that mean? What do those signs mean? It seems pretty empty if we're allowing this type of destruction to happen. So I could go on. I'm sure I could think of a million other examples, but I will just leave that with you for now. Thank you so much.
Just a couple clarifying remarks. I'm going to turn this over to the city administrator.
And I'll keep this brief because I don't believe this is the appropriate forum for a debate, but my recollections of my meeting with Mr. Maher, along with Economic Development Kathleen Timoshenko, is vastly different. I do not believe that there was any question about trees or promises made, but that's your opinion and my opinion, and I'm not going to sit at a public meeting and be told I said something when I know I did not.
And I'd
No, sir. No, you may not. Thank you very much. Again, this is a new business. Share it with you want. When there's lies being told, misinformation being sold, we will correct it as best we can. Mr. Marr, one moment, please. We have a new gentleman at the podium. Colin?
My name is Colin Campbell. I live on the west side. An increasing number of companies in this country are becoming more aware of their responsibility to move beyond just profit and to consider sustainable use, environmentally responsible use of the properties that they choose to build on. And others are still just interested in squeezing every penny of profit they can out of whatever project they're in. I know we're very early in this process, but I'm sure we will find out just which kind of company this one is before long. Thank you.
Anyone else? Hand is raised. I believe it's Ms. Steyer.
I'm now unmuted. Hi, I'm Sue Steyer. I live in Ward 1, and I just wanted to say that the area of woodland that the MIF project is proposed to occur is a remnant of what used to be called Big Woods, which was a woodland that ran from Elgin to Aurora all along the river, a couple of miles wide. You can find some current remnants of it. Actually, J. Womack's Stewarded area is a remnant of it. There's a park in Batavia that has the name of Big Woods. There's also some of that I know of at Fermilab. So it seems like there should be a little effort to try to save another piece of this because, as you can see, we don't have much of it left. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the audience. Anyone who has not yet spoken wish to do so, the podium is open. We welcome you. If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the city council meeting. Motion by Alderperson Kosarog. All in favor of adjourning the city council meeting, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. We're adjourned, folks, and we're going to transition over to the committee of the whole meeting, so just give us a couple seconds.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Monday, June 19th Committee of the Whole meeting to session. I'm Alderperson Mike Bruno, serves alongside Ms. Bowring as my counterpart in the First Ward. First item of business is recommend suspending the rules to permit Alderperson Bruno to chair this meeting and to vote on all action items on this agenda. Moved by Kilberg, seconded by Bowring. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Unanimous. Item number 3, approve committee of the whole minutes from June 5th, 2023. Do I have a motion? Motion by Paschke, seconded by Mayor. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, sensing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is unanimous. Items of business 4A. Consider draft resolution authorizing annual purchase of distribution transformers and material through Wesco's Sourcewell contract up to the budgeted amount of $440,000. Do I have a motion? Moved by Mayor, seconded by Maladra. Any,
Just a brief?
Yeah, brief.
Okay. So electrical equipment and transformers are available through a cooperative that competitively bids procurement contracts for government and nonprofit entities. The transformers available through this cooperative meet the City of Geneva specifications and Department of Energy efficiency standards. We do have with us Superintendent Holton to answer any additional questions you may have.
Should be noted, this is a budgeted item. Are there any questions from the dais? From the public? Seeing none, sensing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 4A is unanimous. Item 4B, consider draft resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing replacement of the master radio SCADA station by Tri-R Systems at a cost not to exceed $32,400. Do I have a motion? Moved by Bowring, seconded by Mayor. Recap by Ms. Dawkins.
So Tri-R Systems has been the city's SCADA integrator for more than 25 years and have a history of providing excellent service in the installation of control systems for the water and wastewater plants. Security of the SCADA system, network, and responsiveness to problems is the reason that staff has continued the relationship with Tri-R Systems. The master radio station receives the communication for the water treatment plant, wells, and sanitary sewer lift stations. The station was installed approximately 23 years ago. Many of the replacement parts of the station are discontinued with limited availability for remaining parts. The master station is a critical component of the utility and should be replaced now in controlled circumstances. This project will allow for the full and continuous operation of the SCADA system without disruption. With us this evening is Superintendent Van Gescam if you have additional questions.
Any questions or comments from the dais? From the public? Seeing none, sensing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 4B is unanimous. Item 4C, consider draft resolution authorizing the purchase of reverse osmosis membrane filters from Consolidated Water Solutions at a cost of $166,725. Do I have a motion? Moved by Mayor, seconded by Kasserad.
Okay. So the fiscal year '24 budget has funds allocated towards the replacement of 285 reverse osmosis membrane filters at the water treatment plant. These membranes will replace ones that were installed in 2014 and have reached the end of their useful life. Expected life of membranes is approximately 7 years. 2 bids were received. The low bid was provided by Consolidated Water Solutions. And again, we still have Superintendent Van Gescam here to answer any questions you may have.
Questions from the dais? Public? Seeing none, sensing none? Oh, Mr. Kilberg.
Alderperson Swanson and Mayor, we had the opportunity today to spend a couple hours at the water plant, and we had a very extensive tour and actually had an opportunity to ask a lot of questions and to get a good firsthand impression or understanding of the complexities and all the nuances of the plant. I think it's interesting to know that the plant is now at, it was opened in 2008. It's approaching 15 years. And the life expectancy of a lot of the components that make this plant run efficiently are at a point where the warranties and the shelf life of some of these key elements of operations out there are coming to an end, and that this is something that we've addressed previously as far as the reverse osmosis membranes. There are other elements, though, that are going to be coming before the council, and it's going to be something, I think, as we discussed today, something that we need to plan for, looking both at the short term as well as the long term. But again, the operator and his support team of just 3 people that are have all the responsibility, or the majority of the responsibility of the day-to-day, operate the facility and provide us with clean water. A lot of responsibility as it relates to the addition of chemicals to bring us a high-quality water. Again, I was very impressed. I'm sure Alderperson Swanson and Mayor were also impressed with the operation. But as far as the membranes, actually 7 years, and we're approaching 9 years. So it's time, and again, this is just one bank of 4 banks that we're replacing. I thought that might be helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Kilburg.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, sensing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item 4C is unanimous. Item 4D, consider draft resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of Solenis polymer during fiscal year 2024 as presented. Ms. Dawkins? Oh, yeah. We need a motion? Moved by Bowring, seconded by Paschke.
Okay, now me. Staff has previously evaluated multiple alternative types of polymers based upon effectiveness, feed rates, and cost per pound of sludge processed. That evaluation determined that Solenis was proven to be the best polymer for the sludge at the Geneva wastewater plant. For the past few years, the City Council has waived competitive bidding and approved the purchase of the polymer for the wastewater treatment plant at a price per pound as quoted. There was also a question that was asked as to what polymers do, so if you want to know more, you can see that on our website. But again, Superintendent Van Gescom's here to answer any questions related to the polymer.
Now, are there any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, sensing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 4D is unanimous. Item 4E, consider draft resolution authorizing execution of a professional services agreement with Fair Graham in an amount not to exceed $105,000 for sanitary sewer evaluation. Do I have a motion? Moved by Kasserag, seconded by Mayor.
Okay.
Ms.
Since
Dawkins?
January of 2019, Fair Graham has provided engineering services related to the evaluation of the sanitary sewer collection system. Fair Graham to date has developed and updated annually the Capacity Management Operations and Maintenance Plan as required in Special Condition 20 of the 2019 NPDES permit, as well as a number of other projects identified in the agenda summary report. The contract for consideration this evening will continue the sanitary sewer evaluation by collecting and reviewing flow monitoring data, updating the Capacity Management Operations and Maintenance Plan, and providing support services as needed. We do have a representative this evening, Chris De Silva from Fair Graham, and also Superintendent Van Gescom if you have any additional questions.
Are there any comments or questions from the dais? From the public? Seeing none, sensing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 4E is unanimous. 4F, consider draft resolution adopting IDOT Form BLR 14220 and BLR 14222 for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code. Do I have a motion? Moved by Kilburg, seconded by Bowring. Ms. Dawkins?
So you've seen these forms before. This is essentially housekeeping, but it will allow the city to utilize MFT funds for routine annual street maintenance operations, including street lighting, snow and ice control, pavement patching, pavement markings, traffic signals, forestry, and street sign maintenance activities. We do have with us this night Director Babica, if you have any additional questions.
Any questions or comments from the dais? From the public? Seeing none, sensing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We are now on to item 5 of the agenda, public comment, new business. That's just jumping ahead there. Seeing no public comment. Item 6, closed session for the setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body, 5 ILCS 120/2, paren C, paren 6. Moved by Alderperson Kilberg. Seconded by Swanson.
Take a roll on that.
Oh, yeah, we'll take a roll on that, please.
All right. Kilberg. Aye. Kasserag.
Aye.
Maladra.
Aye.
Mayor. Aye. Paschke.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Bowering.
Aye.
Bruno.
Aye.
Ruby.
Aye.
That puts us in,
Just say we're not taking any action, so.
we are not taking any action after this meeting, so if you've got things to do this evening, you're welcome to leave.
If you want to see an adjournment.
Motion to return to open session. Kasserag,
Second.
Bowering, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we are back in open session. Motion to adjourn, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned, thank you.